I know the lighting's not great, but this is where I want to shoot the video at this time, which is 2 a.m. You okay? You go outside? I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. I wanted to do a book share just because I'm very proud of myself and I wanted to talk about it. I got into reading and I read 34 books. I was very proud of myself. I don't know if 2025 is gonna be the same, but I could just focus on 2024 and be happy about it. First one that I read was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, and oh my gosh. I got done reading about like 4 a.m. and so we drove to a cliffside to watch the sunrise, and I remember just watching the sunrise and thinking about the ending of that book, being so upset. I also read A Man's Search for Meaning. It was a good book. It was very hard for me to read. I had to like stop a couple times, but I'm glad I got through it. It was a really good book. A Short Stay in Hell. This book was pure comedy to me. It was amazing. Interview with the Vampire. I'm really intrigued by vampires. I think they're really cool. So I wanted to get a book about vampires, and this one was the one that was recommended. Where the Red Fern Grows. I think I read this back when I was like in 3rd grade, but I couldn't really remember. What really upset me about this book was that the ending was predictable. Zola, this is a disturbing book, and boy, it's just disturbing. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. A Child Called It. I read that one. I read it in a night, and it made me angry. That book made me so angry. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I still think about this book to this day. I couldn't put the book down. Geek Love. Sometimes I forget that I've read this one. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. How can you not get that book? It's what I would want to do if I went to Vegas. Annihilation. That one gives me the creeps. I think about that one. It gives me the creeps. The Road. That one was so dull. That was a really dull book. Trainspotting. It's written with a Scottish accent. A Scarlet Letter. I started saying hither because of it. The Summer I Died. That one was brutal. That was a brutal book. No Sanctuary. I read that book in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. on the side of the road. I got scared. I shouldn't have. I read The Hobbit, and that's when I learned I'm really into fantasy. Hobbit was so cute and adorable. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. That book made me feel so small. It made me feel so small. The Messenger by Edward Lee. I have heard nothing but great things about Edward Lee, and then I read this book and I was so disappointed, but I am gonna give him another shot. I read The Collector, and that was a Scholastics book, and I got very upset with myself when I was reading it, because I was very upset because I thought to myself, I could have learned the wonders of joy early. The Pearl, it was like a bullet to my face. Death of a Salesman. It made me really reflect on like what I want to do with my life. Gone to See the Riverman. That book had so many plot twists and so many jaw-dropping moments, and how my mind was just blown so many times. I read Kitchen Confidential. Cooked. I read Spliced this year, and that was a young adult book, and so I was didn't really have much expectations for it. And then I read it, and then I couldn't stop reading it, and then I couldn't stop talking about it, and now I'm telling you about it. Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. I found One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by reading Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. I bet that was an awesome life. I'll let you know in 2026 what 2025 had in stores. Be